welcome Hinda Miller. Hinda, you created the jog bra all those years ago, 1977.
We did our first prototype.
And you've brought something similar with you
so,
today.
You know, my partner and I were both runners. And in the United States, Title IX law had been passed. So any federal dollars that went to universities had to be split evenly between men and women. And in the late 70s, in 72 it was passed. That's when women in sports in the U.S. really started. And so we were of that generation. We were baby boomers. We were for women, by women. And we were all running like this, holding our breasts like this. Some of my friends would bind their breasts like you would do with an ankle.
Yeah.
And so this was a product waiting to be born. And since I was a costume designer and my partner said, let's do something. And her sister called from California and said, why isn't there a jockstrap for women? And so that was the first time we heard it. And then her soon-to-be ex-husband picked up a jockstrap and said, look, jock bra. And we said, wait a minute, that's what we want to do. So we did go to the local university bookstore and we bought a jock bra, and I have one to show you. So here, as you can tell, this was a jock strap with a pouch. So we put this underneath with one, and then we sewed another pouch on, and then we crossed the straps in the back because we had very clear design criteria, as I know you do with your product. And this was the birth of the jock bra and the jog bra.
So the story you just told there, it was kind of unclear who actually came up with the idea. Was it you?
It was
Lisa?
three of us.
Oh,
there were three of us, yes. And my friend Polly, she went on to become a very famous costume designer for the Muppets. And she didn't want to be an entrepreneur. She didn't want to do what we wanted to do. So I would say that, you know, as in all things, it takes a group of people. It's very rare that you only have one person designing something. So there were the three of us in the initial design. But then once you have the product, you have to decide to go into business. And you have to have the passion to do business around your product. And Polly wasn't interested. And Lisa and I were, so we became partners. You know, we were 27, 28, and all we were doing is we understood that this product helped us tremendously, and we wanted to get it on as many people as possible. I was assigned production design, Lisa did sales, and we did marketing together. And then, of course, we had consultants, and then we were able to hire people and create our management team, etc.
And did that go smoothly from the very start?
Not at all. Well, if someone asked me now what was responsible for the success of your business, I would say right product, right time, but also an agreement about how are we going to create our culture? How do we treat each other? Or what are we trying to do? So it was very important.
So you started out, your father lent you $5,000.
It's very true.
Did you ever pay him back?
Oh yes, more than what he paid in. Yes,
even though he probably never asked for it.
Well, as a matter of fact, he
did.
lent us more money, and he got a very good interest rate. And then the financial consultant said, "You can't pay this interest rate forever." So we negotiated. So he did believe in us, and he always raised me. He said, "Go out and experience the world. Just do it." And that was my chemistry. So that was part of being an entrepreneur.
Good old dad.
Yes,
That's
he
fantastic.
was good.
And then you won $55,000, or you were given $55,000
from the
grant funding?
From the Small Business Administration, a federal agency that really had real money to give to entrepreneurs. And it was for a diverse startup. It was for partners that came from some kind of diversity, whether it gender, racial. And we were two women, and we got the money. And we were actually handed a check of $50,000 from the government, which is unheard of in the U.S. For many years.
It's quite unheard of here, although it's happened to us too.
Yes, so there you go.
It's very exciting.
Yes, that's very good.
So how quickly did you realise the implications of scaling up? Because you've got something that's clearly, you made 72 bras to start off with. You sold them virtually straight away. Now you've got to, what's the term, grow up here.
Right.
Because you think, what do we have to do now to make this as big as it's clearly going to be?
Our first sample run was done by a woman in a trailer park in the airport, near the airport in South Carolina. And she was growing her business at the same time. So it just so happened that we were growing our business at the same time. And she did our first year's maybe 5 years worth of production. And then she was too expensive and she didn't have the skills that we needed because we developed more bras, more product.
I read somewhere that you package them in a black box to make it easier for men to sell them.
Exactly. Well, we were in a new industry running for men and women, and the newest distribution channel was runners who wanted to open these small running shops so that their passion could be their livelihood, and they were looking for new product. So we would go into these male-owned stores, and they were mostly young males who were selling, and we'd say, this is a jog bra, it's a piece of equipment, women need this, as well as a good pair of running shoes, and they're ready to run. They weren't so sure, so they gave the product to the assistant manager, which was usually a young woman. They would wear it, and they'd say, yes, we need this. So jog bra, so now we have to sell bras that men don't really like into sporting goods, which is all male. Okay, a piece of equipment, a black box, a drawing that showed our customers, why did we put seams to the outside? Why did we cross the straps? With great respect, because we were our customer base. And that's how we grew our brand. Otherwise, most bras, as I don't know in Great Britain, but in the US, are sold in department stores, and we were never ready to really sell into those big channels.
There was also a funny story about a Playboy bunny being used.
Yes. Oh my God, you did your homework. So the first sporting goods show we went to, we didn't quite know what to do. We had no marketing, we had nothing, but somehow a Playboy bunny had been photographed by the Daily Post, which was a New York newspaper, wearing our sports bra. So we got the photograph, we blew it up, and that was what drew people, because it said Playboy bunny wearing the jog bra, and people loved this bunny. We didn't know the bunny, and they started lining up, and that's how we started. And in our second year,
that's a gift. I mean, you couldn't. That would not happen nowadays, because she would want a fortune for wearing it, and she would want
and probably
not let you use the picture or anything.
Well, it was a different era, that's for sure. So we had our Playboy bunny, and then we had a lot of people lining up, mostly stores, but also reps, because we had to sell through sales reps.
Of course.
And we would have a test. We would say, if you can say the word nipple and look me in the eye, then you will have the job. And the other thing we did, which is wonderful as a female entrepreneur, which you must experience, and you will, is the amount of jobs you can give to women, and how smart they are, and how they can move up. So we developed and hired some female reps, and there weren't really traveling female reps at that time, but they started making a lot of money with jog bra. And when people see that product sell and they make money, they perk up. They want to know what is so valuable that women want it, like your product.
So I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Okay, here they are. What are you expecting, first of all? If somebody said to you, okay, we've got a product on the market that's a leak-proof underwear, what are you imagining?
I would think, my first thing is, okay, how do they feel and what shape are they going to be on my body?
She automatically does that, because that's what she's used to.
I'm used to the upper body.
Down a bit.
We have to go like this more.
Okay, the public perception is obviously bulky.
Yes.
Crackly.
Yes. Crackly. I never thought of the noise, but that's really true. Yeah.
And ugly.
And ugly, yes.
I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. Ooh.
It's like a little gift.
Annabelle and Carol. Everyone see this? Oh my God. Wow. They feel great. Beautiful seaming. Close to the body, nothing that's irritating, close to the body. A nice front panel. So where is it?
Where's the waterproofing?
It's right here.
It's 2 layers. This layer has nothing, and this layer has a heat-bonded thermopolyurethane.
Oh my, how
So it's just a barrier. It buys you time.
Right.
You wear your normal protection the way anyone would.
Right.
And it gets you
oh my
to the loo on
gosh,
time.
I was expecting, because I went online, but I was expecting a piece of sort of plastic that I would see, but this is amazing. It feels great. Now, how did you find this fabric? Shh. Okay, well, these were the trade secrets that make a product innovative and valuable, which I hear, and I would like a pair before I leave. I could give it to my daughter. She would be terribly excited, because obviously you've found something that women understand in their daily lives. So
marketing it is still a problem though sometimes, because like you say, male attitudes. If you think male attitudes were bad to nipples in the 70s, they've not come a long way when it comes to periods in the 2015 that we are now. So
that's why you always have to have that mythical assistant manager who is a woman who has some authority, and maybe a boss trusts a woman, because the way you spoke about exactly what were the conditions where I would want this, and could you say that again, because it's quite out there. So they are described as perfect pants for periods, pelvic floor weakness, and post-maternity. Fabulous. The PPPs.
The PPPs.
Perfect.
No PPs in the PPPs. Basically, life's little leaks.
Yes,
I do like my alliterations.
I love that.
Be ready for anything with Diary Dolls. And remember, we've got your back covered. Find us at DiaryDoll.com.